Hello and welcome to Feasibility.pro. In this part of the video, I'm going to talk to you about something which is very close to my heart. And this is the organizational structure of a real estate development organization. How should an organization should be structured to drive an optimal performance? Most of the time, it is not optimal, and there is a lot of fat, a lot of inefficiencies. And the problem is that it is not the shareholders of these companies who pays for these misadventures. In fact, it is the customers who pays for these misadventures. So let's go and get started. The very common type of a structure which I see these days in a real estate development organization is a very weird kind of a structure where you have on the top, you have CEO, the position is an executive is there, and then you have a layer of vice president or director and this kind of things you have here, and then you have another layer which goes into like director or associate director or something like this, and then you have another layer where you have senior manager, and then you have managers. The problem with this kind of a structure is that it keeps reducing as you go down. So like you have director for every senior development manager, and then you have probably only one development manager and maybe one design manager and maybe one analyst. So the structure looks like something like this, and then you have very fat like this, and the real people who actually works are very low. So these are like analyst, CAD operator, and these are the VPs, senior VPs, and director and senior director. These are senior manager, and these are manager, and these are the people who are at the lower grade. And this structure is very common where you have the real estate developer not doing the contracting himself. He is not a builder, he is not building. He subcontracts the work to some other contractor. This is very inefficient, but this is very common type of a structure we have seen. Now I have a second type of structure where it is not triangular, but it's something like this. And it is like the number of people who actually do the real work and the people who manages them, and in turn the people who manages them. Like you have analysts, and then you have managers, and then you have senior manager, and then you have VPs, directors, and then you have senior vice presidents, executive directors, and all like this. And on the top, you have CEO. This structure is somewhat better than what we have seen the previous structure, but it still is problematic. Although if you look at the payroll cost, it should be much lower because the fat is here, which is not as highly paid as in the previous type of a structure we have seen. The other type of a structure, which is very prism type of triangular type of structure, where the people who do the real work, they are more in numbers, because the real work gets done. So there were like analysts and CAD operator and things like that. And then you have the supervisor or manager who manages them. Then you have senior manager. Then you have director, vice presidents, and stuff like that. And on top of you have CEO. And in my opinion, this is the best structure which any organization can have, because the people who do real work and are low paid are in large quantum, so the work does not get affected, and the payroll also is not too much. And as we go up, it becomes a little bit narrower and narrower. So for every one development director, you have two senior development manager, and for every one senior development manager, you have one development manager, one design manager, and stuff like that. This is a very efficient structure, and this gets the work done for most of the organization, and also this is very cost effective. Hope you enjoyed this video on the organizational structure. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this, and what are your views on how can customers, shareholders, and all the other stakeholders can drive value from an optimal organizational structure of real estate development organizations. Thank you.